So we'll go at it this morning and see how it goes.
We'll see if he can make it 2 in a row here shortly, Dave.
Here with Tony Kanaan, who started 15th yesterday, finished 15th. If there was ever a circuit out there where qualifying can become very important, it's probably Detroit.
100%. But the thing is, if you look at the race, there's so many strategies. This race has always been like this. You know, we definitely were on the wrong side yesterday, but you know, it was a difficult day. We raced a lot. It was not a lot of yellow flags, but a lot of people doing different things. And then at the end, you see like Hinch, for instance, they got a misfortune on the start.
Spun on lap 1.
And benefited from it. So this is Detroit for you. So we'll see. Today we add the weather factor. It's going to be even more interesting.
But even with the strategies, sometimes you need lady luck. You need a caution to come at the right time.
Yeah, but nowadays, Dave, with the field so competitive like this, it's you cannot only count on luck. To be honest, you create your own luck sometimes, and it's hard, man. You know, we have a different qualifying format for this race. You know, we don't go by groups. We split it. Some people got a much tougher group than the others. If you look at the lap times, some guys yesterday on our group would start in the top 5 on Group 1. So that it's really it's a different weekend because it's a double header. We have to change the qualifying format, but we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen today.
All right, good luck today.
Thank you.
That's Tony Kanaan. He's in the second group. He gets to watch this first group go off as you might hear the engine of Marco Andretti behind us. He's ready to go as well. So Michael Young.
Here with Joseph Newgarden, started 9th yesterday. He came home 4th. I recall the end of that race, you had a pretty bad fast race car.
I think we were quick the whole race, man. You know, we felt good about our car with Hum and Verizon here. These guys have been working hard, and you know, it's unfortunate that the yellow came out, but hey, you can't predict these races. You know, you got to try and do your best job with strategy, and you know, we played our hand early in the race by stopping early on those reds and trying to outrun those guys in a 3-stop strategy, and fortunately the yellow just didn't play in our favor. But you know, obviously Graham did a great job. I think, you know, I'm happy for him. He deserves that victory, but I wish we could have played it out a little bit better with him. I think Elio and me would have had a good run at him. Like I said, I think we got fast cars, so we'll try and make up for that today if we can. We'll see what the weather brings us, but either way, I think we're going to have a good car underneath us.
You guys went out first yesterday. You'll go out second this time. We've had light sprinkles, spitting rain, if you will. Obviously, we'll change the track just a little bit. Probably a little thankful that you're going out second.
Yeah, I mean, it actually looks like it's okay now, so I think these guys, if the weather stays the way it is, this is going to dry up real fast on the racetrack, so their second run on tires will probably be pretty good. But it's always good to go second. You know, yesterday we didn't get that opportunity, so that's why today we do. And it's always better to see what people do first before you go do your run. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully we got a good shot to put it on pole.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Joseph Newgarden rolled out 9th yesterday, finished 4th in the race, Mark James.
Rock solid day for our pit reporters in terms of getting news to fans all throughout the race, and they followed it up with a great start today for sure. Speaking of them, let's go back to Dave first. And Dave, some similarities, but one noticeable difference to the qualifying format on this day.
Yeah, and this is Detroit only, very unique to the streets of Belle Isle. We won't do this again the rest of the season, no matter what street or road course we head to. They split it, the 22 cars up into 2 groups. Yesterday, Group 1 included Graham Rahal, Simon Pagenaud, Will Power, Tony Kanaan. Well, they flip-flopped the second day of qualifying, where Group 2 will now go first, and the green flag just flew, so we're underway here. That includes guys like Elio Castroneves, Alexander Rossi, J.R. Hildebrand, Ryan Hunter-Ray. 2 groups, the fastest in each group gets a championship point. The fastest overall between the 2 groups is awarded pole, and the group from the overall fastest then will line up in the odd-numbered starting positions according to their own times coming up later this afternoon. It's a quick 12-minute session for each group. By the time you blink, it's almost over. All told, it's a 30-minute session. And the conditions so far today, we are a couple sprinkles. It's still not wet by any means. Temperature around 71 degrees. Track temperature the same. Humidity up around 69%. And we are ready to qualify here for duel number 2 on the streets of Belle Isle.
A couple of guys those who have an idea what the conditions are like, help us cover this course that is just shy of 2.5 miles in length and some 14 turns. We'll start above turn number 6 and say good morning to Jay Query.
Good morning, Mark. The sound you hear below me, that of Connor Daly going by on his softer compound red tires. Keep in mind he probably has an extra set. He was an early exit from race number 1 on Saturday. Turn number 6 is where I am again perched, and again, the exit of this turn can get a little bit tricky. I can tell because there clearly is a change in the surface. Yes, it is concrete all the way through, but what you can easily see is a newer pour, if you will, and that leads to just a slight, perhaps, grip difference when you exit turn number 6. Scott Dixon right now with Ryan Hunter-Reay just behind him, negotiating that exact area. Once they make this right-handed turn, which is essentially single file necessary, they go underneath the Pure Michigan Bridge and then mark one of the real long straights where they can get some good speed here in Belle Isle.
Yep, turn number 7, that's where Nick Yeoman is perched again today. And Nick, prior to the session starting, saw the Habatro safety team and some track officials down there doing some minor repairs to the track, but you're at probably the fastest corner on the racetrack in terms of the approach.
Yeah, it is a right-hander of turn number 7. They're going to reach speeds up around 160, 170 miles an hour down the back straightaway here on Belle Isle before they are hard on the brakes as Carlos Munoz goes through turn number 7. It is a right-hander. Then the more technical portion of the racetrack, left-handers in 8, 9, and 10 before a right-hander back to 11 near the fountain. I was a little concerned about the track conditions when I got out here, Mark, when we took the air. The concrete down here in turn 7 was a darker gray, kind of leopard spots of rainfall that we had over the last half hour. Nice thing is that rain has let up and everything is dried up. Turn 7, that concrete, the familiar light gray. So we're good to go here in turn 7 for qualifying.
Our driver analyst, Davey Hamilton, joins us in the booth. Davey had shoes and socks off and had pens and pencils and calculators and you name it, trying to keep up with all the wild fuel strategy yesterday. Nobody does it better than he does. We're thrilled to have him back with us again today. And Davey, we've got some contact. The number 14 machine of Carlos Munoz has made contact on the course. Davey, it looks like that troublesome, tricky switchback section through turns 2 and 3.
Yeah, definitely hard contact. The right front tire definitely been out of line. He had to come to a stop, couldn't make it to pit road. I'm sure the car was dragging, but can't see exactly what there's the mark. We just don't know what happened to get into the wall like that, but definitely he's out.
That's a hard hit, Davey. He moved the wall.
Yeah, it's definitely V'd, and these temporary walls around this temporary circuit. He hit right in the middle of 2 of them, and boy, Mark, it definitely pushed him right out of the way.
Yeah, fortunately, I guess for the team, they have quite a while. We don't go until about, 3:43 this afternoon, so certainly plenty of time, but you don't want to put your team in that position.
Well, now we know where he's going to start, right? I mean, he's going to start dead last in the field, and that's unfortunate, not what they want to do. They want to start as hard as it is to pass here. You want to start as far forward as you possibly can, although, so as we just heard from Tony Kanaan, man, the strategies were crazy yesterday, Mark. There's no way to take a break and let everybody hear our pit stops because they're pitting throughout the entire window of fuel. So it's going to happen again today. The window opens at lap 2, ironically. At lap 2, the thing opens. So, there we see the hit just coming off of turn 2. There's that bridge right there, Mark. There's a bit of a bump there, but there's just no grip there. I was out in the 2-seater this morning, and with the rain that came, it didn't really rain enough to wash the rubber off, but it was still just maybe a little damp right there. Just broke the tires loose with cold tires, into the wall he goes.
That area between 1 and 2 is deceptively fast, and if you're not careful through there, that's the end result.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Remember last year, Montoya did the same thing, and if I recall, didn't Newgarden do the same thing there last year as well? Just caught him off guard just a little bit. And if you overcorrect anything at all, man, it slams you into that right side, outside wall and puts you out of business. But I agree. I don't think there's a lot of damage to that car. They'll get it fixed up for this afternoon's race.
And, the respect that the drivers have for the difficulty of this race and this course and the challenges of it, even someone as dominant as Graham Rahal was yesterday, we mentioned the fact that he probably just hit the push to pass late in the race because he wanted to. Well, past the halfway point, he still had 2.5 minutes left to push to pass and had a 6-second lead. And yet this morning when Katie Hargan talked to him before he gets to the race car for his qualifying session, he didn't sound overly confident about today.
Yeah, That's racer. That's a racer. And that's, you know why, Mark? This series is so competitive. And even though he had a dominant win yesterday, I think he realizes if you put Helio Castroneves on a different strategy, if Hinchcliffe doesn't have his issues early, I think he would have been better off and maybe on the same strategy as Graham. I think he knows that there's some guys that have good race cars. Now, he was definitely dominant, but the day's different. It's cooler out. It could rain. The track has changed a little bit because of the rain that was on the surface. So it's going to be interesting. Now, I have confidence that he could be the first time, as far as I know, that have one guy win both doubleheaders, and I think he's that dominant to be able to do that.
So, again, we are under a red flag condition. The car of Carlos Munoz found the outside retaining wall off of turn number 3, off of turn number 2, we should say, and brought out that red flag condition. Heavy damage to the right front suspension. Got out of the car under his own power. He is okay. The car most certainly is not. Jay Query.
You know, I had a question for Davey. It seems, Davey, that I ask you this at a lot of the tracks we go, but I am curious because today we are under complete cloud cover here on this track at Belle Isle. As you'd mentioned, the temperature a little bit cooler. Yesterday we did have sunshine here. Now, I know that on, say, the ovals with that permanent asphalt like Indianapolis, we know that it's very temperature sensitive in the track and in the grip. On these street courses like Belle Isle, if you had to pick a place where you had to go from one day sun to the next day cloud cover, is this where you would prefer it to happen? In other words, how much does the track truly change, especially now that you have a fractured session where you're not able to go out and make adjustments perhaps to the feel of your car? How much is it going to affect these guys from yesterday's condition to today?
Well, Jake, it's a good question because it definitely will affect the cars. Now, you won't see as big of a difference on a street, especially a temporary street course, as you would per se an oval. I think that you really notice the differences mostly on the high-speed ovals. But it does make a difference here because the cooler air, you have a little more power, maybe a little more grip as well. Now, this rain could throw them off just a little bit because of if it washes any rubber off the track compared to what it was yesterday's race time, you know, they have to be cautious with it. And they have to be, you know, just a little bit of dampness with these slick tires. It could catch you out. But I don't think it's as big of a difference on a street course as it is an oval, and so shouldn't make that big of a deal.
Expertise of the Gematro safety team, certainly not confined just to cars and drivers. Their trucks are equipped with the necessary tools to effect repairs to the track and the retaining walls, and that's exactly what they're working on as we speak, trying to get that wall put back into place. To pit road, an update from day first.
Yeah, remember these are 2 12-minute qualifying sessions for each group. We are now approaching the 10th minute, but they are guaranteed 5 minutes of green flag time. So right now we're at 3 minutes and 35 seconds of green flag time. So you do the math. You got 1 minute and 25 minutes left. So once they get the wall repaired, we'll have 1 minute and 25 remaining in this qualifying session.
Michael Young.
Down on pit lane, my end, Helio Castroneves, quick thus far. He went to sticker reds, so when he goes back out, he'll be set with sticker reds. Just was looking at the car of Scott Dixon as the team now making a call. They had the scuffed blacks that they had, indeed, Dixon now going to sticker reds. So when we do go back to green, expect the guys who were quick yesterday all out on sticker reds.
Just a couple of laps completed by most of these drivers. Again, as you heard Michael say, Helio Castroneves is quick. Connor Daly, Rossi, Hildebrand, Dixon, Hunter Ray, the top 6. Then Munoz, Alosian, Servia, Chilton, and Kimball. So while we wait for green to flag action to return to the course, actually green flag is out. Everyone's heading out. We'll step away quickly and come back with more qualifying here at Belle Isle.
The finish line, the victory lap, the trophy. I'm Mario Andretti, and I know there's nothing sweeter than winning an IndyCar race. And that feeling doesn't stop at the finish line. Because when you drive on Firestone tires, the official tire of the Verizon IndyCar series, you'll realize that you don't need a track to drive like a champion.
Whatever you drive a Firestone. From the Firestone broadcast booth at Belle Isle, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Lotion is squeezing a couple of people off of pit road. Davey made it a little difficult for Hitch to get off of pit road, and then had some issues with the 21 of J.R. Hildebrand.
Well, I'm not sure what he's doing. I know for sure that Kimball passed him because he was so slow. But now Kimball's getting, they're just trying to spread out at this point, and he sees McHale's running dead. So they want gap between the timeline mark, and the timeline is between the start-finish line and turn 13, actually right off at turn 13 before you go into the pits. So everybody can have a green flag lap and then still be able to pit. So as you can see, man, look at how backed up there. Nobody wants to go right now except for Elio Castroneves. He's already in turn 2.
Yep, Elio Castroneves in turn number 2, had a fast car. A matter of fact, Jake Query, Elio was the pole sitter, or at least he thought, but penalized for running too quickly through the caution area and had that fast lap taken away. Still started on the outside of the front row.
The 7th yesterday did Elio Castroneves. Works his way now out of turn number 5. Here comes that Hitachi machine. Keeps it low. That rear end swings out just a little bit through turn number 6. Then you have Scott Dixon on the softer red tires. Ryan Hunter-Ray working through the gearbox into turn number 6 as well. And then we'll follow around, Nick, Alexander Rossi, who starts to come into your view. Alexander Rossi into the Pure Michigan Bridge.
And as Rossi comes towards the Corvette Bridge, let's go to pit lane as Katie Hargan's caught up with the driver that brought out the red flag to start qualifying.
And Nick, with a little bit of an incident in turn 2. Carlos, what happened?
I don't know, just I had a problem in the left side of the car, and just the car went straight to the wall. Turning normally, it's not like I was pushing, just normally something happened on the car. We don't know what, suspension or something. We just went to the wall. It's a shame, but it's a long race. Starting from the back, maybe we can do more crazy strategy. It's not good, but I feel sorry for the guys. We have to analyze what happened, and let's see for the race.
Finished 14th yesterday, but he'll start 22nd today, Mark.
Yep, Carlos Munoz, 21 and the 16 took the checkers, still going, and the lap will not count. And Davey, as Dave first said, they were guaranteed 5 minutes of green time. And they got it before that red flag situation came out. We see Alexander Rossi. They need do a little body work on the number 98 car.
If you remember yesterday, he hit the wall in the exact same place. Coming off of turn 13, he hit the wall. He hit it a little bit harder today. But, boy, he really tries to get some speed off of turn 13 and hit it 2 days in a row.
So a disjointed session, most assuredly, because of the red flag condition brought out by Carlos Munoz. So here's where we stand. Right now, Ryan Hunter-Ray, fastest with a time of 1:15.283. Elio Castroneves, P2 at 1:15.528. Then Mikel Aloshin, then Scott Dixon, then Connor Daly, then Charlie Kimball. 7th quick Rossi, 8th quick Chilton, 9th quick Hildebrand. Servia, then Munoz. So, Davey, interesting to see Connor Kimball starting up towards the front.
Yeah, how about that? Race. Good. That's a really good run for Connor Daly and Charlie. I'm not surprised. He can be fast at times. Just needs to get it together. Charlie yesterday finished at 21st. It looked a lot better from that 12th starting spot than where he finished yesterday.
I think Ryan Hunter-Ray will be a little happier, too. Not happy with the run yesterday and a 13th place finish, but he laid down a fast lap for sure at 1:15.283. But, again, it looks as though Elio Castroneves has a fast race car here in Detroit this weekend.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Elio, though the times will drop drastically in this next session as long as it stays green.
Let's hear from Connor Daly. Katie has him.
And he had a mystery mechanical issue yesterday, but a great qualifying session this morning. Connor, did you guys ever figure out what happened yesterday?
No, I wasn't told. So it just got to be something just small. I mean, if you just have one thing go wrong in these cars, it can just ruin your day. So not sure what it was, but our car's been fast. It was fast yesterday, and it was fast today. Just made a small mistake that probably could have put us up another 2 spots, but it's our best qualifying of the year by a long way. So it's nice to have that today.
And last year was your first podium in IndyCar here on the streets of Detroit. What about this track suits your style?
I don't know. I just really like it, and it's a lot more smooth now, which is pretty cool. I think that they've done a good job here, and it's just a fun circuit. It's high-speed stuff, a lot of undulation, track changes, stuff like that. So we're going to give it a shot today and just see what happens.
And fifth in that session for Connor Daly, Michael Young.
Elio Castroneves obviously nearly had the pole yesterday in that situation. Today, it looked like you were going to provisionally either be on the pole or on the outside, and then got nipped by Hunter Ray at the end. Looked like you had your handful on that last lap when you went on the sticker reds.
Yeah, great car. Hitachi Chevy is really handling it well. Unfortunately, I did not expect that take a little longer, the reds, but car feels great. Now let's watch the second qualifying, but it sounds we're going to start on the second row, and looking forward for the race.
Good luck later today.
Thank you.
Elio Castroneves will provisionally start on the inside or outside of row number 2. Dave first.
Yep, here with Ryan Hunter-Reay. You guys were guaranteed 5 minutes of green flag out there. I think you probably only got that. It was a quick session for you, but you made the most of it.
Yeah, never really got into a rhythm to get going, so just had to make the most of it on pretty cold tires. Tires were coming up to the run.
Simon Pagenaud, as we go back to green, James Hinchcliffe goes by. The entire second group is ready to qualify here. Big jump, though, from yesterday for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We made some changes overnight. Seems to be the right direction. I wish I would have just gotten to a little bit more of a rhythm with it so I could see what we have for the race. But good start so far, and hopefully we make it happen from there.
Starting on the front row. We'll see if you start from pole in a bit here. Thanks.
Thanks.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, guys.
Yeah, that changes everything about your strategy for sure. We talked about it, Davey. It cures a lot of ills and makes that strategy planning session go much more smoother, I think, when you get that front row start. I mean, you want the spoils to go along with the pole for sure, the big check and everything, but that front row start's so very important.
Very important, and I have to believe this group means they're just going to have more time. It's just like Ryan said, they didn't get in a rhythm. They didn't get their tires up to temperature, so he's going to more than likely start second, and Castroneves will start fourth. But that's still a great run. And how about yesterday, from Ryan Hunter-Reay? He fought with his teammate all day long, Marco Andretti, trying to get around him, and they swapped back and forth, and so he was in traffic almost the entire time. So having a front row start for him is he'll enjoy that from yesterday for sure.
I won't say he was mad, but Elio Castroneves was not happy with that abbreviated session.
Yeah, no, and I don't think anybody is, right? I mean, it is what it is, and it's the same for. Well, it's not the same for everybody. It's the same for everybody in that group.
That's right.
So there's 11 guys it was the same for, but he still pulled off second. Tough way to do it.
If you missed a race yesterday, Jake Query, and you looked at the box score from yesterday, don't adjust anything on your screen. Will Power did indeed finish 18th yesterday. He's looking for a much better day today.
And he comes through turn number 5 right now, does Will Power. As a matter of fact, starts to downshift a little bit early through turn number 6. Power is gapped back, and then Nick, coming into your view, a guy that you had your eye on yesterday, might have had the fastest car in the middle of the race. That was Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, Joseph Newgarden, really the only Team Penske driver I think was happy with his performance, finishing 4th yesterday. Mark mentioned the struggle for Will Power as he makes his way through turn number 7. Another driver in this group that is certainly looking for a little redemption is Simon Pagenaud. As Pagenaud sets up for the right-hander of turn number 7. He was just off yesterday as well. Marco Andretti follows him underneath the Auto Trader Bridge into turn number 8.
Yep, we're watching Will Power complete his lap. We also see James Hinchcliffe, Tony Kanaan going through the paces. More on the day and an update on Will Power from Katie Hargan.
Mark, don't count Will Power out this weekend. Remember, last year in race 1, he finished 20th, then went on to win race 1, and that led him on a tear of 6 races where he finished 1st or 2nd, and of course, as we know, led him right into the championship battle all the way to Sonoma.
Yeah, good point, Davey. If you remember last summer after missing that opener at St. Petersburg, he went on a tear during the quote-unquote dog days of summer and narrowly missed a championship.
Well, that's why we look at him right now, and he's a ways back. I think he's 10th place actually in the championship, but 70-some points back. So this guy can still get it done. Never count. He's like Dixon. I kind of put them guys in the same category as far as never count them out on wins and championships because you just don't know when the hot streak's going to start.
An update on what the issue was with Alexander Rossi. Dave first has him on pit road.
Alexander Rossi, once again, was pushing it. You're getting to know that wall a little bit too well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that wasn't really our issue. That was just a slight bump, but we didn't go out on new reds, so we stayed on used, which was our issue.
Not much time in that session. Did you guys change the car any from yesterday to today? Would you like a little bit more just to see what you have in that car?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously a disjointed session for everyone, but yeah, like I said, we stayed on the used tires because we thought they were hotter and that would be an advantage for us, but simply we were just out-gripped, I guess, by the new reds.
Good luck today. Yep, that's Alexander Rossi. He'll start in row 7 this afternoon, guys.
Penske teammates not running together, Jake, but, they're within a couple of feet of one another. We see Graham Rahal. Davey, we're watching him run up over the curb.
Wow, I mean, he really got loose through that corner several times, and, man, he really had to slow down to keep from going in the grass, and he's running hard. He wants that pole position, but, boy, not that much grip coming off the corner right there.
Right now, Sato is P2. He's chasing Will Power, Newgarden, Tony Kanaan, Pagenaud, and Hinch to top 6th, then Rahal 7th, Marco 8th, Piggott 9th, Ed Jones is 10th, and Esteban Gutierrez, Esteban Gutierrez runs in the 11th position. He, of course, making the start for Dale Coyne this weekend, and told our Katie Hargett yesterday, Davey, he's going to be in the car the rest of the year.
Oh, well, and I would say until Sebastian comes back, right? But good to have him back. We may have to do a name change on him because I'm struggling with that name every time I see it. So we may have to Americanize it just a tad bit.
Well, one thing's for sure. I mean, he was all smiles when he got out of the race car yesterday. I mean, he finished 19th, but I mean, let's face it, that's a pretty long test session for him, and that's the way they had to look at it.
You know what? Absolutely. His first time in the Verizon IndyCar Series, I think he does definitely realize how difficult this series is and how competitive it is. And hey, it's great I love to see new guys, new faces come to our series and give it a try. A guy that's been in the Formula One with Haas and has tried a lot of different kinds of motorsports, deserves to be here, and it's always good to have new faces.
Michael Young?
Yeah, Joseph Newgarden coming in. He was on blacks, currently 4th quick in this session. He will go to sticker reds, added a half a round to that front wing. Interesting, Will Power quick and quicker, and he's on those blacks. We expect him to come in and grab some reds for the final half of this qualifying session and see how Will does, but so far so good.
Jake Query, Tony Kanaan finished 15th yesterday. He passes you in turn 6.
On the primary black tires is Tony Kanaan. He works his way through, and then waiting and coming into view, there are 2 more cars. Spencer Pickett's on those softer red tires, and then Graham Rahal also on the reds. Nick, if Piggott has a hiccup, it's going to cost Graham Rahal because there's not much distance between the two.
Boy, Tony Kanaan was pushing it through turn number 7 a lap ago, lit up the tires getting into turn 7. Here comes Piggott and the aforementioned Graham Rahal. That car has just looked so smooth on rails all weekend. Currently 4th quick, Mark Janes, as Graham Rahal makes his way out of turn 9.
Davey, we're getting a replay, a look at that. You've flung it around on dirt a few times like that, the way Tony Kanaan did.
And let me tell you who else would be great on dirt. Is that guy right there, Tony Kanaan. He can drive anything. And, boy, seeing him, the hand movement, how fast his hands are, car sideways, overcorrects, comes back.
Jake Query.
Will Power just made contact exiting turn number 6. I don't think it really damaged the suspension of that car, but it wouldn't surprise me if he has to limp his way through the remainder of this session. He made contact with the left side exiting turn number 6. That Verizon machine pushed out. He managed to keep it going under that Pure Michigan bridge.
Looked very similar to the incident that Alexander Rossi had on his last lap, and Davey, he kind of dismissed it as not a big deal.
Yeah, here it shows it again. He turned in just a little bit too early, gets to that outside wall, doesn't lift at all, smokes. We'll see his time was a 1:14.1. He's just getting ready to cross the line. Yeah, He goes faster, 1:13.944 after hitting the wall.
Sato is P2, Pagenaud P3, Graham Rahal 4th quick, Tony Kanaan 5th quick, Newgarden, Marco, Jones, Hinch, Gutierrez, and Piggott. While he's currently 11th quick, Davey, how about Spencer Piggott? He had a top 10 yesterday, another one in that car for Ed Carpenter Racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And his teammate was right there with him yesterday. Good run for Ed Carpenter Racing. Only one result because JR got a drive-through penalty in the pits, unfortunately, but great run. Especially Spencer had a tough month in Indy. He's with Juncos Racing at the 500, which was a brand new team. First time there, they ran through their struggles. But you know what? He made the 500. He was in it. He got laps and more experience, and back to the seat in the Fuzzies car.
Marco Andretti comes to you, Jake Query. Several cars behind him as well.
Marco Andretti has James Hinchcliffe behind him. What a day yesterday for Hinch. He's on those red softer compound tires. So, too, is Spencer Pigot as everybody starts to wrap up this session.
Let's go to pit road. Check in with Dave first.
Yeah, good eye from Jake there. Marco Andretti on sticker red. So is James Hinchcliffe. And that's the sound of Tony Kanaan taking off. Sticker reds as well for the 10 car.
3 minutes remaining in this session. The Indy 500 champion, Takuma Sato, sets up for turn number 5. The red, white, and blue machine pops into the view of Jay Query.
Sato makes that sweeping left-handed turn, now sets up to the outside as he exits turn number 6. Really good line this time by for Takuma Sato.
Let's follow him all the way down to turn number 7. Let's watch the entry point in that troublesome turn, Nick Yeoman.
Oh, Sato swings it wide to the right side of the racetrack, then back to the left so he can nail the apex of turn number 7. Nice and smooth as he sets up for the left-hander of turn 8. Those left side tires go up and over the blue and white curving just a tad before he accelerates through turns 9 and 10, Mark.
An update from pit road with Michael Young.
Will Power just came down, put on sticker reds. He was bad fast on those used black, so I can't imagine he won't go even quicker. Will Power, his quickest lap minute, 13:94.49. Near incident here on pit lane. Dave first was talking about some of the guys coming in and going on sticker reds. Rahal and Andretti left it at exactly the same time, and Hinchcliffe piled in. We nearly had a collision on pit lane. They got it sorted out by the time they hit pit out, but a close one, as Marco Andretti was a sandwich between Rahal and Hinchcliffe here when they all went back out to qualify.
Long haul down the back straightaway for Will Power, Nick Yeoman. He continues P1.
Yeah, that Verizon silver machine just looks fast. It's like night and day. Yesterday he got lapped by Graham Rahal. Today he's poised for a pole. That car looks sharp through turn 8, accelerates by the sweets into turn 9 and 10, Mark.
Now, Graham not quite where he would like to be in terms of where he started yesterday, Davey, but right now, 5th quick in this session, but what a rebound for Will Power after he struggled mightily yesterday.
Yeah, a guy that went a lap down shows the only guy so far in qualifying is a 1:13.9. His teammate almost got the 1:13s. That's Simon Pagenaud, 1:14.0, but Graham Rahal, as you said, a 1:14.5, and he was in the 1:13s yesterday when he qualified, Mark, so he's lost some speed today.
Watching Ed Jones as well. He finished 9th yesterday. Speaking of Spencer Pigot, that Fuzzy's Ultra Premium Vodka machine off of turn number 4. That means he sets up for 5, which is a short straightaway. He'll bend it to the left and come into the view of Jake Query.
2 things that are in my mind that I always want to say. One of them is when I see that 20 machine, I think of Ed Carpenter and Spencer Pigot in and out. The other is, admittedly, Esteban Guerrieri, who was the runner-up at Indy Lights, the Argentinian, and of course it's Esteban Gutierrez who's in that car this weekend. Mark, I got a feeling that that's one of those middle hurdles that all of us are probably going to stumble at least once this weekend.
Nick Yeoman, turn 7.
Yeah, Will Power just locked up the brakes and is driving through the runoff area. And Mark, as he accelerates out of the runoff area, that LED display just turned to 2 because, Jake, we've got a new P1.
None other than Takuma Sato. And Sato, as I said, really good lap last time by, Nick. Should be coming by you right now.
Yeah, here comes Takuma Sato as he accelerates through turn 7, now to the left-hander of turn number 8. Here comes Sato heading to turn 9, Mark Janes.
Yep, we see the 27 machine. Marco Andretti trying to improve his position, Jake. Right now, he is P4 as Marco Andretti makes that turn number 5, that left-hander.
Marco Andretti following right now behind Graham Rahal, about 25 car lengths or so. He got a little bit loose through turn number 6. He's got James Hinchcliffe behind him. Hinchcliffe just made very slight contact at the exit at turn number 6.
Yeah, these guys are pushing so hard here at the end of this qualifying session. First, into my view, is Marco Andretti. He'll swing it wide to the exit of turn number 7. Nearly got into the tire barriers. And then about 8 or 9 car lengths back, it's that golden black Aero Honda of James Hinchcliffe.
Well, on our video monitor, Davey, we're seeing a celebration that's not quite like the Indianapolis 500, but Takuma Sato is a very happy race car driver right now.
He's already celebrating. I don't know if somebody's going to come across and beat that time, which was a good one, 1:13.67. Graham Rahal, he almost does it, a 1:13.8. So I think everybody is crossed at the timeline now. So Sato, our Indy 500 champion, is going to be our pole sitter, and Andretti both on the front row.
His crew said after the 500, this guy can battle for the championship. He's just 17 points back before this qualifying session.
Man, I tell you what, when you win that race, I mean, he's been a contender all the time. He won Long Beach with Foyt. He's a contender. We know he's done a good job. He almost won the 500 before, but man, this guy's got the confidence right now, and it's just on top of the world.
Look at these numbers, Davies. What a difference it made with this session. The previous session disrupted by that red flag brought out by Carlos Munoz. Look at the stark contrast to the times.
Yeah, pole sitter, 113.67 to Sato. His teammate, Ryan Hunter-Ray, a 115.2. So nearly 2 seconds difference between the first group and the second.
That's a happy guy right there.
That is a happy guy.
Yeah. Well, and I think, Davey, obviously you want to win pole, but let's face it, it's as important here as it is anywhere because of how hard it is to pass.
Yeah, no, this is, every race means so much to these guys, no matter what race it is or what you accomplish. And whenever you can have success, man, it is a big feat. And it just happens to be that, he won the Indy 500, the biggest race of all time.
We'll hear from Takuma Sato and the other drivers when we come back to Belle Isle.
You can't take a 700 horsepower IndyCar out on the road, but you can take the tires. The new Firehawk high-performance tires from Firestone are built with racing-inspired technology and have better wet and dry handling than ever before. Now the only thing missing is a pit crew.
Hi, Dad.
Well, that's a start. Find your perfect Firehawk performance tire at your local Firestone retailer. Whatever you drive a Firestone. From the Firestone broadcast booth at Belle Isle, this is the Verizon IndyCar Series.
Well, they stack up in this session. Takuma Sato, P1, Rahal, Hinch, Power, Andretti, the top five. Pagano, Newgarden, Kanaan, Jones, Gutierrez, and Piggott. Let's hear from your pole sitter, Takuma Sato. He's with Katie Hargan.
And after winning the Indianapolis 500 just 1 week ago, Takuma Sato has kept that momentum going here on the streets of Detroit. Takuma, what is clicking for the 26 team this weekend?
Well, this is unbelievable. Again, another team effort. I absolutely love this team. Teammate helped me for the, obviously, the...
and he wants to talk to AJ. He re-steered us. A great moment, a hug from AJ for this pole, Takuma.
Yeah, it's great. I gave every 100%.
Lots of hugs, high fives down here from Michael Andretti as well as Rob Edwards. We're going to let Takuma celebrate just a little bit and also finish his thought here.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it feels great. Car's great. And what a place. I love it. I'm pumped up my arms and 100% committed. I can't lift anymore.
I can't. And Takuma, how does this change your strategy for today starting in the front of the field?
It's obviously give us a lot of opportunity. We'll see. I know there's some cars faster than us yesterday, but we'll see how it goes.
And I can tell you there are so many hugs, laughs, high fives down here. Takuma Sato's in a great mood, Dave.
And here with James Hinchcliffe, who will once again start fifth, and this is like deja vu all over again, right?
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't start the same at the beginning of the race, but the end result wasn't bad, so if we can get back up on the podium, it would be great. Pretty straightforward session. The car's really good, just to be a fraction of a second off Graham. Obviously, he was a dominant guy here yesterday. That's, I think something we can be happy about and bodes well for the race.
Strategy going into this thing, two stops, 3 stops. Do you guys try the 2 today?
Who knows? We'll take a look at it. I mean, today it's a little bit different just because of it kind of depends what tires you ran yesterday and what tires you have left. The series makes sure they don't give you enough to make sure you can do the same thing both days. You kind of have to mix it up a little bit. So we'll see what we've got, what we have to commit to. It could still rain. It could be a rain tire strategy sort of day. So who knows?
Say good luck today.
Thanks a lot.
James Hinchcliffe, again, for the second time this weekend, starts 5th.
Yeah, well, we don't anticipate that pit strategy being much different than it was yesterday.
Well, I think you're going to see more guys doing the 2-stop strategy with like Graham did. I do feel like most of the guys thinks that's going to work. Where the mistake was made yesterday, Mark, is when that yellow came out.
Right.
On lap 25, I want to say, or even at whatever it was, that guys didn't pit at that point.
He's not P1 today, Katie. Let's hear from Graham Rahal, yesterday's winner.
Yeah, yesterday in the 15 pit, it was celebrations for pole for Graham Rahal. Today, a little different scenario. Graham, what was different today?
Well, not really. I mean, we qualified third. It's not like we're last. So, we pretty pleased we're third. It's I don't know, whatever. So we're pretty pleased with that. We're gonna just have to focus hard here. Going into the race and try to do the best that we possibly can to get by a couple of these guys. Obviously, a little different scenario than yesterday, just being around people. So, if we can have a good start, get down into 3, get through 3 clean, and go racing, we should be all right.
You didn't have to pass a whole lot of cars yesterday. how do you feel about your car in traffic?
Well, it's going to be a lot more difficult. There's no doubt about that. But our goal has got to be to save the tires, to try to go the full first stint, with a lot of guys could not do yesterday. So that's going to be kind of what we're setting our mind to from the start, and we'll see how it goes. But the reds were good for me yesterday, but we're going to have to start on used reds today that have been qualified and pushed hard. So we'll see.
Graham Rahal still confident he can get to victory lane today, Michael.
Will Power, one of those drivers just never settles for good enough. You're always pushing, always pushing. You guys went to those sticker reds. You had the runoff, but certainly you'll have a fast race car for the race. Walk us through that session.
Yeah, I mean, we feel for the whole session, and I said, let's just start on blacks so we can save a good set of reds for the race that we already had from yesterday. And if it feels good, I'll just keep going. But I kind of brushed the wall and then got some traffic, so I thought, maybe let's pit for reds and maybe get one lap in, which we had one lap, which we were up on, but we weren't going to be good enough for pole. Maybe if we got a second lap, but it's all we had, so gave it everything.
Did the reds catch you off a little bit? You were doing so good on those blacks.
No, the reds I saw in my first sectors, straight away, they're faster, we're probably going to get caught out here. But that's the risk we took.
Well done. Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
He's got a lot better race car than he had yesterday. Obviously, they had to save fuel in the last stint of that race, so he'll be flat out today. Will Power will start on the inside of row number 4.
And, of course, Davey, the one thing that is a possibility by the time we get to 3 p.m. this afternoon, the local prognosticators say that Mother Nature could very easily play a role in this race today.
Without a doubt. I mean, the rains, and I don't think it'll be a heavy rain. I really don't think a big rain to come down, but we could have some sprinkles. But, one thing, as Graham said, that's very interesting is that he didn't make any changes to his car, Mark, none, right? Because he's happy with his car. But everybody else in that field that ran second, third, fourth, he beat him so bad, that everybody else in the field have made changes in the car. So, and that sometimes hurts you. Sometimes, Graham thinks, hey, what else do we do? Don't change nothing. I'm good. But trust me, these guys all want to win, and that shows. We got 2 guys in front of them at the start of this race.
Join us at 3 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. Along the usual outlets, we'll have complete flag-to-flag coverage for race number 2 here in Detroit. Want to thank Katie Hargett, Michael Young, and Dave First for their outstanding work, as always, on pit road. Also, thanks to Nick Yeoman and Jay Query for their help out on the course, and Davey Hamilton, of course, our outstanding driver analyst. Our master control operator in our Indianapolis studios is Chris Pollock. On-site production and engineering by Rick Evans, the director of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network, and the Advanced Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network is Wally Levin. Again, we'll see you at 3 p.m. Congratulations to Takuma Sato, your pole sitter, the Indy 500 champion, for race number 2 at Detroit. We'll see you at 3 p.m. Eastern. So long for now from Belle Isle.
This is the Verizon IndyCar Series on the Advanced Auto Parts IndyCar Radio Network.
A.J. Foyt down the main straightaway. The checkered flag is out. A.J.'s hand in the air. He is the winner. A.J. Foyt at Indianapolis has won his 4th 500-mile race. A.J. Foyt, our winner. The flag